Equifax owes you up to $20,000, and you don't have much time to get your money before the deadline closes. Basically, half the United States is eligible, so you don't want to miss your final opportunity to collect as much cash as possible. Equifax, by law, has to pay you for any time or money spent related to this data breach they're responsible for. And I'll show you how to find out if you're eligible, step by step how to file a claim, along with a free Google Doc with just about every reason you can add to your application for a larger refund, and when you should expect to have your refund money in hand. So Equifax is one of the big three credit reporting agencies in the US. It handles a massive amount of personal and business data. Now imagine the chaos when in 2017 they dropped the bombshell news of a huge data breach. This wasn't just a small leak. We're talking about personal details about 147 million people getting exposed. Yes, everything from social security numbers to credit card info was out there. Naturally, the Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, and several states weren't going to let it slide. They sued Equifax for not doing enough to protect your data, and it turns out the breach happened because of a known security flaw that Equifax hadn't fixed in time. So after a ton of legal back and forth, Equifax had to agree to a settlement, and it was a big one. The settlement created a huge fund, upwards of $425 million, specifically to help people affected by the breach. If you had expenses because of this mess, like fees from fighting identity theft or costs from credit monitoring services, Equifax was supposed to cover that. They even offered cash for people who already had their own monitoring services. But now they're also covering reimbursement for time spent, so that's compensation for time spent dealing with the breach at $25 per hour. Up to 20 hours of your personal time can be claimed with appropriate documents. And then 2, out-of-pocket expenses. And so they're going to reimburse you for expenses resulting from the breach, such as unauthorized charges, attorney fees, postage, and things like that. And it says you can be eligible for up to $20,000 in out-of-pocket losses. Now, initially, there was a deadline for folks to file their claims, and that was set for January 22nd of 2020. Now, many people thought that they missed their chance, but then surprise, surprise, we got an extension. And this was a game changer because it meant that if you were hit by any fraud or identity theft issues linked to the breach between January of 2020 and all the way through January of 2024, you should still file a claim. The new deadline is now January 22nd of 2024. And if you have more questions, you can call J&D Legal Administration at this phone number. That's the company that's handling the claims process. And to find out if you're eligible, just click the link below. So it takes you to this website to check your eligibility. Now, I found out I was eligible, and you're probably eligible too, since it affected 147 million people nationwide. So all you have to do is fill in your last name and the last 6 digits of your social security number. Now you click submit, and it'll take you to this page. It says, based on the information provided, our records indicate your personal information was impacted by this incident. And there's a box here to start your claim process. It says file a claim. In this case, the FTC didn't have enough reliable data to identify all the people who were affected, so they had to resort to this claims process you're going through right now to send out refunds, which increases the admin costs. Now, if you just want to go directly to filing a claim, I'll leave a link to that below as well. So to start off your claim, you'll see a page like this. It says file an extended claims period claim. Then click next. Here you just enter all of your info, like your mailing address, first name, last name, state, just all your contact info. Now, section 1 is about cash payment for time spent. So 2 things you want to pay attention to here on this page is if you claim 10 hours or less, you must describe the actions you took in response to the data breach. So that means you just have to write in exactly what you spent time doing. And the second option is if you claim more than 10 hours total, you must describe the actions you took and include supporting documents. So if you don't have supporting documents, then you'll want to claim 10 hours or less. Just click yes, I spent time. If you do end up claiming the entire 20 hours, that would mean you'll be eligible for $500 in compensation. Now, I wanted to make it as quick as possible for you to fill this out. So in the box that says explanation of time spent, you can just copy my response. I left that in a Word document that I linked below. I labeled it Equifax settlement responses, and under the time spent explanation, you can just copy this portion, take it back to your claim, paste it, and just fill in the rest. Now we're just going to click next. Now this is section 2. It says cash payment, money you lost or spent. you can receive a reimbursement for up to $20,000 total here. Now, remember, you can get $500 for the Section 1 and $20,000 for Section 2. So in total, you can get $20,500. So I'll click yes, I lost or spent money. And so you don't have to spend time trying to figure out where you spent your money at, or maybe you forgot and you need to jog your memory. You can head back over to the Word document I created. There's a list of all the expenses that you could have possibly incurred that's related to this data breach. So things like postage and mailing costs. And I even included an amount that is likely that you've spent. Printing and copying expenses, phone bills, legal and professional fees, notary fees, transportation costs, stationery and office supplies. And I have 17 different items that you can include there. So if we go back to the claim, you can just copy and paste that in here and then add your own wording. Now for me, all I did was use Aura Identity Theft Protection. So all I did was add that in here. And I just estimated for a yearly cost of Aura at $180. I don't have any supporting documents with it, so I wanted to move quickly and just click next. Now, maybe you don't have any fraudulent activity from the Equifax data breach on your credit report, but your credit score is still low and you want to build credit fast, especially before you buy a home. You could use Stellarfi to build credit with every single bill you pay. They give you a virtual card with a reported credit line up to $25,000 that you can use to pay for things like your phone bills, utility bills, and make rent payments. There's no credit check, no interest, and no deposits. Plus, they give you instant approval. It improves your on-time payment history, credit usage, and age of credit. That's 80% of your FICO score right there. You can try it out for 99 cents right now. Just click the link below. Now, when you head over to Section 3, you can choose how you receive your cash payment. It says the checks must be cashed within 90 days, and you can select check, prepaid card, or PayPal, and then you just enter your PayPal address. Now, I chose PayPal since I use it a lot already, and I prefer fast digital payment, so I can skip the step of scanning and depositing a physical check. Now, you're not guaranteed to get the whole amount written on your claim. What you get depends on how much the FTC collects from Equifax, how many people apply, and how much the admin costs end up being. But they do guarantee that everyone gets the same percentage of total losses. The FTC won't even send out a refund if it's less than $10, and on average, 93% of refunds end up in the consumer's hands. The FTC also says it aims to have all refunds processed within 6 months of the claim's deadline. Now, after you finish making your settlement claim, head over to this next video where 3 credit card company employees gave advice on approvals, limit increases, disputes, and late fees. They even revealed 3 persuasive lines you can use with customer service to convince them to increase your credit limit. Check out that next, and thank you for watching.